So you guys know that how the SpongeBob commercial got leaked online and spread throughout social media along with a bunch of re-uploads? Yeah, believe it or not, we got new material from SpongeBob SquarePants Golden Age. Back in the early 2000s, SpongeBob SquarePants partnered with the Got Milk campaign and created a commercial advertising chocolate milk.
Hey, Patrick, how about a glass of delicious, creamy chocolate milk?
Oh, yummy! I love chocolate milk!
And it's good for you.
Chocolate milk. You can absorb it for yourself. Got chocolate milk?
Yeah, this is a real interesting case here. SpongeBob's Got Milk commercial became part of the lost media. Many have claimed to have seen the ad back in the day, while others weren't even aware of its existence, us included. This might be due to the rights issues between Nick and Got Milk, but the ad didn't really see the light of day after it ran its course.
After it resurfaced, however, so many people have constantly re-uploaded the video on YouTube, and rightfully so, given that there's a chance for either Viacom or the Got Milk campaign to take it down.
Seeing that the chocolate milk clip and basically viewing new classic SpongeBob material, we think that we finally realized that the biggest problem with the series since the first movie was that being SpongeBob's basic understanding of things. But what do we mean by this? Well, for instance, making the signature character act more like a child, or a full-fledged baby in the case of Squid Baby. This causes him to not feel like the same character anymore. This is certainly not the one that we had all known and loved from the pre-movie age. He used to have this charm to him. While he was naive at times, he still knew quite a lot of things. But it's like he completely forgot about them.
And that is an understatement. I mean, after all, it's not just that he forgot about them, he just flat out doesn't know it. Perfect examples of this include when SpongeBob asks questions about things that he clearly and obviously already knew. In the iconic Leif Erikson Day gag from Season 2's Bubble Buddy, SpongeBob clearly knew about Vikings, but seasons later, when you get to episodes like Dear Vikings, all of a sudden he doesn't know about them at all.
Mr. Krabs, what's a Viking?
Hey, everybody, it's Leif Erikson Day. Hinga-dinga-durgan.
Another example is from the episode Jellyfish Hunter, where he is given a lunch break for 5 minutes. But in a later episode, SpongeBob didn't know what a break was, and when he got one, he didn't know that he was not allowed to work on his break. So basically, he knew what a break was, but now he doesn't. Combine that with a slight personality change to a more exaggerated version of what the character is, the voice changing as well to being higher than before, acting like a child more, and some over-the-top obsession with Squidward, and well, the charm of the character is completely gone. I mean, I had more enjoyment out of him in that ad than in episodes like, say, Squid on a Bus.
Makes sense, really. I think the real reason SpongeBob as a character was so flanderized to the point of acting like a total toddler was probably because Nickelodeon might have wanted the show to appeal more to a younger audience, which is weird considering it already did that. Also, making SpongeBob really childish pretty much takes away from what series creator Steven Hillenburg wanted to convey for the character. He essentially explained that when making SpongeBob, he wanted the show to predominantly appeal to college-age students among children. So when watching this piece of lost media, it does really paint the picture of just how much the show has changed over the years, especially when you stop and think about the fact that this commercial was made in 2001. But anyway, the same can be said about other flanderized characters such as Patrick.
Most obvious example of this is, well, the episode Gone, where everyone leaves Bikini Bottom for weeks to get away from SpongeBob, which is a subject for another day. The fact that they did that was just ridiculous, considering how dependent they are on him, and frankly, that was honestly just mean. I mean, it even adds insult to injury when you hear Patrick's line in the climax of the episode.
Everybody needs at least one day away from...
Not even Squidward in the first 3 seasons would have done something like that.
I will admit that SpongeBob's content of quality did steadily improve from his dark period, i.e. seasons 6 to 8, your choice of seasons honestly, but unfortunately it does not have the same charm as the pre-movie era.
Admittedly, notable writer Kaz, who worked on the show in the 3rd season, had returned, but unfortunately the writing has changed so much that he can't even write the show in that style anymore. And it has to do it in the style that SpongeBob is known for doing now. As sad as it sounds, unfortunately, there won't be another cartoon like pre-movie SpongeBob SquarePants, even with some of the same people back from that era. True, there's more continuity between episodes. In fact, Bubble Buddy had returned twice, and Bubble Bass is a flat-out recurring character instead of a one-off. I mean, that alone is proof of that. Honestly though, the wackier cartoonish exaggerated style that seasons 9 onwards has been going for has made it feel less like the pre-movie era ever did. The creator Steven Hillenburg even returned to the series halfway through the 9th season and worked on it up to season 12 before he tragically passed away. While the quality did improve, let's be honest for a minute. Do you really see episodes like the Nitwitting or Krabby Patty creature feature fitting anywhere in the pre-first movie era? Honestly, not really.
And let's face it, the show is not as quotable as much anymore as it used to be. You know, back then we had notable and iconic lines such as, "Is mayonnaise an instrument?" "No, this is Patrick," and of course even the dramatic outbursts of the chocolate dish.
Chocolate! Chocolate!
Along with that, you had SpongeBob's innocent and mature-like personality. You see, the best way to describe it is that pre-movie SpongeBob had his childlike innocence to him, but still had his moments that showed him as a pretty smart character in his own right. Like what many people view as the best episode of all time, Band Geeks, SpongeBob is able to give a speech that got the citizens of Bikini Bottom to come together and perform at the halftime show. I mean, the Bubble Bowl. Even events in the first 2 movies do feature SpongeBob being able to mature and stand up for what is right, giving the character some credibility.
Stuff like that rarely happens anymore, not counting the 2nd movie. This happens all of 2 times after that. The first being in Best Day Ever, where SpongeBob's friends put on a show to make him feel better. And the second being when, after he missed an episode of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, because, well, his friends kept asking him to help them all day. As a result, they ended up feeling bad for him after all the stuff was done. They reenacted the show for him. That was genuinely a nice moment.
Well, other than those 2 exceptions, the characters have completely changed and just aren't likable as they used to be. The SpongeBob featured in this chocolate milk commercial was 10 times more as likable as the character than in SpongeBob episodes featured in Good Neighbors, Slide Whistle Stooges, and even that Ink Lemonade.
And frankly, the charm that used to be SpongeBob is present here, versus episodes like Choir Boys, Kenny the Cat, and of course the Nitwitting. Yuck. Point is, the character has unfortunately changed a lot over the years, and given the fact that SpongeBob is being turned into a giant franchise being forced down our throats thanks to Nickelodeon, needless to say, the SpongeBob that we have all known and love is gone. But for 30 seconds, we had the character that we all known and loved back. Thanks for the memories, classic SpongeBob.
Until we meet again.